Welcome back to my channel, y'all. This is Karen Denton, your KSC bidding consultant. And today I have a part two of resource centers. So I have two special guests. I want them to introduce themselves and tell you what services that they provide so you guys can know the benefit of free resources. And with nothing further, I'm going to give you the Riverside Innovation Center. And I don't know who's going to speak first. So I'm just going to turn it over to y'all.
I can go first. My name is Robin Young. I am the Director of Operations at Riverside Center for Innovation, and we are an entrepreneurial incubator and accelerator.
I'm Victoria Snyder, and I'm the Director of Strategic Initiatives at Riverside Center for Innovation. And many of our programs that we have are free and open to the 10-county region in the greater Pittsburgh area.
That's great. So can you tell my audience what all that you offer?
Ooh, that is wide and vast. What we do here as a resource center, we provide small businesses with the ability to get free training on various aspects of their business. We want the businesses to accelerate from being a side hustle to sustainability. And through the different programming that we provide, we give them direct access to primes in the area of Pittsburgh, PA. I want to let Victoria take this one so she can go into more detail for the different programs, because what she does is she has a hands-on opportunity to reach out to a lot of the businesses and schedule direct workshops and some of the additional trainings that we provide.
Thanks, Robin. We have a incubator system called BizFit. So it's 3, 2, 1 launch off. In tier 3 for BizFit, that's really breaking down the business plan. So talking about marketing and personas, building the business plan, understanding what your product is, and taking your product to market. So whether that's a product or service. At Riverside Center for Innovation, we're uniquely different than some of our other resource centers in the area. We have a heavy emphasis in the construction and trade industry. So we specialize in supporting those businesses. We help all businesses, but a heavy emphasis with the construction and trade. I say that to say, once you get past tier 3, you'll go to tier 2. Tier 2, we break into 2 parts. We have tier 2 products and services and tier 2 construction and trade. Tier 2 products and services spends a lot of time on the psychology of sales, understanding sales, and then taking your product to market and making sure that you're able to get your product and or service into other larger corporations and entities and things like that. When it comes to the construction and trade side, we spend 3 months going over what is a bond, how to get a bond, insurance, bidding, estimating, blueprint reading, understanding unions and union signatory, along with several other opportunities that tie into the supply chain and supplier diversity portals within working with the larger primes. After that, you'll go to tier 1. Our BizFit tier 1 program is in partnership with the University of Pittsburgh. And we work there with tearing apart that business plan, building it, and really launching you for growth. At that point, when you graduate from tier 1, we're hoping that you're at $1 million growth revenue or plus. And so we, again, tier 1 is broken into 2 sections, products and services and construction and trade. Our program is run linearly. So we have BizFit in the fall and then in the spring, and then tier 2 is in the winter and in the spring for both of them. And then tier 1 is spring and then fall. And so all of those programs are free. They're easy to sign up. They are done virtually, which we know helps a lot of people who are owning a business and working in a business. They have the capability to log in through Zoom 2 hours twice a week to be able to do these workshops that are presented to them. On top of the BizFit programs, we also offer additional workshops such as our bonding series, our estimating and bidding series, our Grow with Google. We have a partnership with them, as well as several other workshops as we find necessary that businesses have said, hey, we need a little update on this particular area.
So question, so you said it's virtual, so can Do it have to just be Pennsylvania?
Yes, you have to be within the 10 county region. So that's Lawrence County down to Washington over to Indiana. And that's only because that's how our grant money runs in order for us to be able to make it as a free option. If you live out of one of those areas, you can still participate with some of our workshops that are virtually and online, but you cannot go through our BizFit program because that's done within that region. If a person is looking for a resource hub or resources in the area and they're not in the greater Pittsburgh region, two best options are to look at SCORE, which is a mentor program with other entrepreneurs, or looking at your small business development centers, SBDCs, which are housed at a lot of universities. Those are really great starting points to start to get access to education and services for your business.
And I just wanted to piggyback on the virtual aspect of it. Before the pandemic, all of the classes were held in person, but when the pandemic hit, we knew that we needed to pivot, and the virtual meetings happen to be very accessible for those who are working all day on their projects. We found that we get a better attendance rate and sustainability. For them to come in the evenings because they've already worked their jobs and their projects, and they do find the time to be able to attend virtually. Our retention rate has been much higher.
Yes.
Yes, because during the day is not a good time.
Well, we also understand statistics show that Black women and Latinas are the two largest and highest number of entrepreneurs in the United States. Many of them are also mothers and working a full-time job. And so anything that's during that day when you have to play those multiple roles is inaccessible. So we really do try to have it at a time where you can get the kids dinner, you can sit down, you can do the workshops, and then you can still get them to bed. And we also understand that within the construction industry, early mornings or in person are not applicable at all when it's construction season. And
Yes.
so, we know that it's a bit pushed. Those are really long days, but we have found that the virtual options, and we do a few of our workshops and a few of our BizFit sessions in person, but we always let people know the date and time of one that would be in person. So that way nobody feels like they're left out of that particular workshop.
Oh, that's great. That's great. So I didn't have much for you guys. I just wanted you to share the benefits of your resource center because I've gotten my OSHA training certification through you guys. I got my bonding through you guys. What else?
Well, we also help with certifications. We're not a certification body, but we kind of do a handhold process where if you wanted to get the Pennsylvania Universal Certification PAUCP, we'll sit down with you and go through what the application looks like, what they're asking for, help you compile your documents, and then go through a checklist. So that way, when you're ready to go to one of the agencies, we can send you over, and most of your paperwork is done. So it makes the process quicker and a little bit more seamless. We also can send you to agencies that do DBE and MWDBE certifications. As you mentioned, we do the OSHA 10 and OSHA 30 training. We also do scissor and forklift training, HAZWOPER training, and also NGCIP, National Green Infrastructure training programs as well. We're working on lead abatement training. So one of our great resources here is that we are a resource to the community. So we partner with a lot of community organizations and agencies in order to be able to put these workshops and some of these other things on. We work very closely with many of the anchor institutions for their supply chain and supply chain portals. So helping businesses access getting into those supply chains. Do they need a certification or processes to that? So it's always going into the community and reaching back out and in. And we like to kind of say that we are a Rolodex. Someone will message us and say, hey, do you have a company that does this? And we'll say, hey, Karen Denton, commercial cleaning. She's great. We know she's great. She has her certifications, capability statement. And when we refer that person to that company and they show up and they do the job well, that company has then found faith and trust in us, and they keep coming back. And that's how we're able to build our small businesses into these larger institutions. I think a little bit more successfully than others.
Yeah, that part of it is great because you're like the reference for the business.
Yeah.
So, Yeah.
It's like Angie's List, right? You look up you're like, oh, I need a contractor. Who do I go to? And people have different ways that they give reviews or whatever else the case may be. But we feel like when something has an RCI stamp of approval, it really means that they're vetted and that they can do the work, because we take pride in the businesses that we support, and we have a high level of what we consider being able to share your information out to someone else. And so we know that time is money and money is time. And so if someone's reaching out and looking for someone, we want to make sure that you have the capability and capacity to do that work as well. We would never want to set you up, Karen, for example, giving you a job and you're like, I don't have the capability. And we're like, no, 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 do it. This is great. You'll get into this company. And then you can't deliver. And then guess what happens? They don't want you and they don't want us. And now we've missed out on opportunities for many others. So we really do try to hold hands that way to make sure that everybody is aware of what's expected and making sure that they have the capability to do that job well.
Mhm. And we also pride ourselves on being easily accessible. We are
Yes.
here. You can contact any of us on the team, and we also piggyback on each other for different information in order to provide excellent service to our clients.
Absolutely.
I'm sorry, y'all. I'm multitasking. Yeah, this is great because y'all even mentioned some things that I didn't know you did. So
And it's ever growing because the landscape of being an entrepreneur is constantly changing, right? We know with some of these new executive orders and some funding freezes that we have to pivot. And so we're constantly in the community and talking to stakeholders about how can we make sure that our small businesses can maintain their livelihoods, that they can, keep doing work and doing work for others. And so it's consistently finding other avenues to be able to tie people to jobs. Workforce development's become a big thing. So making sure that we can upskill and train your staff to always be at the next level. One of the things that we're talking about is 𝐂𝐓 training. So 𝐂𝐓 training is for cleaning companies to be able to work in the hospitals. We're a hospital hub. Western Pennsylvania and Pennsylvania is a hospital hub. And so there's certain parameters, and that certification allows you, kind of gives you a stamp to be able to be the commercial cleaning company for those hospitals before they open. It's a difficult process, it's long and it's lengthy, but then that makes you an expert, that go-to for being able to work within those things. So we're constantly looking at what's that thing that makes our companies marketable, but niches them down, that they are the person that you want to go to for that opportunity.
see, that's just like the UPMC project. They reached out to me and I got awarded a package of that. We start next month.
Oh, wow.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, so that's a whole nother level
Mhm.
for me. Getting a project like that. I actually am going through the process of getting $5 million coverage and insurance for
Mhm.
that project. So
See? And those are all huge milestones. And we really love to celebrate the milestones. And we'll often ask our companies, what's something that's going on. So, like, when we get off the call, we'll share with our team, like, hey, Karen just told us she got a UPMC contract. She's getting, she's moving up in her insurance and things like that. Those are all success stories for small companies. When we hear success stories at companies, we often think that Target's doing this or Amazon's doing that. And that's fine and well, but sometimes just being able to hire one additional person onto your team as a small business is a huge milestone, because that means your capability to do your business and work in your business and run your business has hit a new level.
I say that all the time. I say when you can hire one person, you're about to change somebody's life.
Mhm.
You're you're helping somebody.
Yep. And now it's not just a you thing, right? You're not a solopreneur. You're not just doing the work. You're having to invest in others, and others are having to invest in your faith and your dream. And it's a whole new level in the business realm when you can get to that level.
You know what I did, the MWDB certification, and it
Okay.
asked, "What's your 5 year average?" So in order to get that, I had to go and get my 5 years right. Do you not know? I discovered I paid over $900,000 in cost of goods sold. I said, "Oh shoot! I helped so many
Amazing.
families." And I'm like,
See, and
awesome.
that's another huge milestone, and I love that, and congratulations. That's what we try to tell our businesses, is that maybe you didn't hit a goal of selling that month, but like, what else did you do? Maybe you met 4 new contacts. Maybe you went to a networking event. Maybe you got a certification. Maybe you learned something. Maybe
Yeah.
you worked on your craft or your skill a little bit better, so that next client has a better experience with you than the other. All of those things really, really matter when you run a small business.
It do, because it's not always about the money.
Right.
You gotta get your credentials in place and everything in place before you really can focus strictly on the money.
And a
Yes.
lot of people don't realize that being an entrepreneur is 24/7. There is no rest for the weary. So you have all the hats on. And so in order to make sure that your business is successful, you're doing this all day, every day. You're eating, sleeping, and breathing this business. And so
Yes.
what you want to do is also make it successful. But just like you said, hiring another person is changing their life. And so that's the purpose of wanting to be an entrepreneur and also wanting to be successful and sustainable.
Yes, because you cannot do it by yourself. You have to add. Business is a people thing. You need people to grow any business.
Great relationship.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So yeah, and now where I'm teaching on the part where people are scared to trust people in their business, and I said, well, we all go through that,
Right.
Hmm.
but you have to trust somebody so you can jump out and
Right.
grow
And
your
expand.
business.
And eventually,
And sometimes it's a really huge step and it pays off, and sometimes it doesn't. You get burned. Excuse me, but just like anything, I can go to the grocery store and buy something and it's really great, and then next time it's not great, right? Like,
All
that's the
right.
luck of the draw. But when your livelihood and your family and your legacy is tied to this one thing, that risk and risk aversion is just so much bigger. And so when people approach us about starting businesses, one of the things that I say quite frequently is like, this has to be something that you're willing to stick with, no matter how good the days are or how bad the days are. If you can barely make payroll, you need to be just as excited the next day to wake up as the day after you got $1 million deal. Like, running a business is a business, right? But all it's emotional, but at the same time, there needs to be no emotions in it at all. So it's really difficult because you're always running a path of duality between the two. And it's not, business isn't meant for everyone. I
It's
encourage everybody to try something at some point. Some people would do it as a side hustle. Some can make it a side business. Some do it for just a little extra cash. Some want to make it a legacy business, and that those are all fine. But I think people realize that some have it and some don't. People that do have it, you find, become serial entrepreneurs. They're like, "Oh, we got this. Let's go. I want to. I
what
see the
else?
need now. I know the process. I know how to do this. The operations is down. Let's go." And those are really unique people and opportunities as well.
and you sound like me when you said that, because that's what I said. Come on, y'all, let's go.
There's money to be made out there. There's money to be made. No matter what your product is, you have the capability to sell it and market it. It just depends on how good you can sell it and market it, how good the product is, and if people really, really want it. But there's money. Look at how much people pay for like the silliest little things, right? Those fidget things that they have, like the Pop-Its or whatever else. Companies are selling them across the world. You can get one for 99 cents or you can get some for $12. What's the difference between the two? Maybe a size, maybe the maker, maybe the marketing, maybe the packaging, right? But like, you're going to buy it because you want it. And so I think that's another piece that people need to remember with the business, is that like, you can sell cookies. The person next to you can sell cookies, but they're not your competition in any way, shape, or form.
I say that all the time because I don't feel like nobody here is my competition. I don't even see them on the same walkthroughs. I don't even
Oh,
see them.
wow. Good for
Yeah,
you.
this is a $1 billion industry.
Mhm.
There's enough work out here for everybody.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
Everybody. Yeah. All right, ladies. I don't want to take up too much of your time. I just wanted to just let them hear what you guys offer, because I have some people here in the city, so they need to hear what you guys offer so they can start coming over here.
You
Good.
can find us on Facebook at Riverside Center for Innovation and Instagram at RCIPGH, or you can go to our website at riversidecenterforinnovation.com.
All right, ladies. Thank you so much.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Karen.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Have a good
And you
day.
guys have a blessed day.
You
You.
too.
Okay. Bye bye.